In today's video, I'll be talking about the practical and holistic steps to forgive, heal, and embrace your inner peace. I made a video before now on the power of forgiveness. I hope you can watch that. Forgiveness is not about approving or agreeing with people's action or saying that what they did is okay. Forgiveness is not about forgetting what happened or being a doormat to further abuse. No. Forgiveness is about letting go. It's about healing from the past. It is about detaching from the anger, the blame, the resentment, bitterness, fear, and hatred that you hold within. It is about living in the present and accepting life as it is. Forgiveness gives way to freeing yourself of emotional attachments that you have towards a past event. A very important thing to know in order to begin the process of forgiveness is that anytime someone hurts you, betrays you, cheats on you, steals from you, judges you, or make fun of you, or even rejects you or cause you pain in any way, it has nothing to do with you, and it has everything to do with them. People do things from their own level of consciousness. Consciousness being the level of awareness a person has about their true essence and the higher truth. However, everyone's consciousness evolves at its own pace. Everyone has a specific journey that they have to live, a path that they have to take. You are not a victim of your own circumstances and the actions of others. What people do to you is their problem, not yours. If you believe that you are a victim, you will always depend on others or life to treat you a certain way in order to feel good, worthy, and happy. You are responsible for yourself. You are responsible for how you feel. If you choose to live in resentment and anger for what other people did to you, then that is your choice. But just know that you also have a choice to let all that go and liberate yourself. And you can do that through forgiveness. Let's go over the step-by-step practical process of how to forgive others. Step 1, make a list of everything that has happened to you and everyone who has done something to you that you can't forgive. These people who have hurt you, or the things they have done to you and the things you are holding on to, are very painful, yes. So get this on paper. When you get it on paper, it makes it great. It helps you to process, the deeper feelings and to identify what exactly is weighing you down. Acknowledge your feelings. Before we can move into the process of forgiveness, we have to acknowledge how these painful experiences made us feel. The last thing we want is to ignore it, to deny it, to suppress our feelings, or to even avoid it. Instead, we have to go into them and absorb it. The truth is, there is a little child inside you that hurts. And by these actions, you may feel scared, neglected, alone, unloved, unworthy, or inadequate in some ways, especially if these painful experiences happened in childhood, and that is okay. What you have to do is to validate your inner child and acknowledge how she or he feels. Have a conversation with her and hear her out. Speak to her as if you are a loving and accepting parent who is completely present and free of judgment. Go through this back and forth, keep conversing with your inner child until she feels heard, acknowledged, understood, accepted, and probably loved. Get revenge. Since it's sometimes very hard to fully forgive until we get some sort of revenge, let's satisfy her inner child and do an exercise to get this revenge that we truly want. But I tell you, this is only in our mind. The revenge is only in our mind. So this exercise should not be done every day. It should only be done once. Try it. Now, I want you to close your eyes. Imagine the person who has hurt you. Think about all the things you want to do to them, how you want to make them suffer. Imagine it happening right now. No, this is called visualization. Visualize it. Next, write down on a piece of paper everything you wish to tell them. Let out all the anger, all the hatred. Tell them how you feel and how they have hurt you. Be as free as possible and say what is truly on your mind. Don't hold back. When you have let it all out, take your piece of paper, set it on fire and watch it burn and disintegrate. This represents, the built up hatred and anger that you're letting out. Or you could even decide to tear it into small pieces and throw it down the toilet, flush it off. You could also decide to throw it into the garbage bin or bury it in the ground. This exercise should make you feel a lot more lighter and allow you to open up to forgiveness. Recognize that you are holding on to anger and that this is doing you no good. Ask yourself, what good does it do for me to hold on to a grudge? The next step in this process is to forgive and also embrace acceptance. Accept what had happened to you. Accept how painful this experience has affected your life. Accept what this person did. Don't allow it to elude you. Oftentimes we resist what had happened because it is too painful to accept. It is more like a reality. We try to tell ourselves, no, this shouldn't have happened. What happened was wrong. What this person did was bad. And no, I can't take it. I can't accept it. We mostly tell ourselves that. But just as with forgiveness, acceptance doesn't mean approving of what someone did. It simply means that you accept and acknowledge it for what it is, instead of fighting, denying, or resisting it. So go ahead and tell yourself, I accept what happened to me. I accept how it impacted my life. I accept that this person hurts me so much. Even though I'm not happy about everything that he or she did to me, I still accept it for what it is. This is a super important step because the truth is, whatever happened already has happened. You cannot undo it. There is nothing you can do about the past, so why fight it? Next step is to see this situation from another perspective. It is very clear that all these years you have been seeing this situation from one perspective, which is your own perspective. You have replayed it in your head, cried about it, and you even blame that person or situation for what it has affected you and for ruining your life. I am by no means underestimating the pain that this experience caused you. I know that seeing it from your own perspective keeps you small. It keeps you in that victim mode, and that's not going to help in freeing you. Putting those situations into perspective would help you to appreciate yourself and not see yourself as a failure. Take responsibility for yourself. You have to realize that you are only a victim in this situation if you choose to be a victim. At the end of the day, you are responsible for what you feel. You have to take ownership of what you have control over. You also have to own up to what you did wrong, if there is any, and how your unconscious actions may have contributed to this situation. This calls for sincerity and reflection. This step is by no means about blaming yourself for what had happened to you, because that again is playing victim. This step is about getting rid of the blame and finger pointing and rather bringing the attention to yourself. Now it's time to let it all go. It's time to release the past. It's time to let go of all the pain, anger, blame, hatred, sadness, bitterness, self-pity and resentment. And it's time to truly forgive yourself. Remember that non-forgiveness keeps you enslaved and limited. You want to be empowered. You want to live in your own power. You want to live in peace. You want to release control of the past and start living in your own light. So embrace forgiveness.